You're listening to the In the Mix podcast with Marvin Joles. Here's your host.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. I'm really excited for today's episode. I got a longtime friend here, and we've kind of been in proximity for a while, and I've been fortunate enough to see this fellow win some awards and whatnot. So I really wanted to bring you this story just because there's a lot of people who wonder, like, hey, how can I get started? Where can I get going? When's too late? When's too early? What do I need? How's it going? And I've just been fortunate enough to stand on the sidelines and watch Rodney Hilton do his thing. Rodney Hilton is owner and operator at Express Asphalt. How you doing, man?
I'm great, buddy. How are you?
Doing good, man. Can you tell people like where you're from, where you all located at there, and what you provide?
Absolutely. From Lorain, Ohio. What we do is we started off with seal coating, patch repair, line striping, stuff like that. Then we processed over to do paving also last year.
Yeah, I seen some pictures, and it was like you were like no. I remember the post vividly. It's another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so people think that I don't pay attention because I got so much going on, but dude, I remember I just have that thing where like this is my thing, and I can remember the posts. I seen it one time, and I remembered it. I was like, dude, I got to get Rodney back on. You and I spoke early on as you were starting to build your business, and I'm like, hey, I'm not the guy to like give you the advice to take you to the moon, but I can get you in orbit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's where I hang out at, and that's kind of where our conversation kind of got started. So. Tell us a little bit about how you got into this. Like, how did you get into the asphalt industry? Tell me like the timeline, because obviously you and I both aren't spring chickens anymore. But a few years ago, man, you were like, hey, I want to get into this. I want to learn. What attracted you to it, and how did you get into it?
Absolutely. So January 2021, I was just surfing YouTube. And of course, Judd Burton from Asphalt Kingdom was on.
Yep.
And everywhere you go, you just see his videos, So I went ahead. I didn't do nothing the first day. Second day came along. I seen him again. So the third day came along. I said, let me click on this guy and see what's going on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once I clicked on that, I referenced to what he was about, what he was doing. And I said, let me look further into this. So I looked further into it. I made contact with Judd.
Yep.
He got back with me. We discussed several things. And then it just literally took off from there, man. And then I got introduced to you, and back and forth. I call you and Judd the learning trees.
I appreciate that.
I mean, because you have so much knowledge, you know what I mean. And knowledge is so much time, and knowledge is so much money.
Yeah, it shortcuts you, man. It saves you. Like I tell everybody that. Like it took me like 10 to 12 years to learn what I can like help people learn in a year.
Yeah.
You carve all that time off and give yourself a good springboard.
I mean, it just catapults you.
Yeah.
It really does. So
what'd you do beforehand? What'd you do before you decided to get into this game?
Well, I've always had a business. I've had a car lot and a sports car. But, them businesses are here and there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I wanted something that could catapult me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So that was probably mid-January when I spoke with him. And then I just started doing.
What year, Rodney? What year?
2021.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that, and that you were just like, I'm jumping in. Like there wasn't like dipping toes in the water with you. It was just like, let me.
No, I did. I actually jumped in with both feet. In my area, there's only one other pretty good sized company.
Okay.
In my area, so I did all my research, my homework, and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. Fast forward at about 4 or 5 months, 6 months. I built my first sealer truck because I didn't want to go in with the totes.
Yep.
To start off with. So I did my research and got online and looked at everybody's setups and this and that. So I actually built my first truck in 3 months and hit the road running. It was June of 2021.
Yeah.
Is when we got our first job. Our first job was $5,000.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So what was your like? How'd you get work right away? Because that's usually when people are like, how do we do this? Like, how do we get leads coming in?
So what I did was I went ahead and got on social media and made me a Google page.
Yep.
Google my business, and then I went ahead and ran some ads on social media.
On Facebook or on Google, or how'd you do it?
On Facebook,
yeah,
Instagram, things like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
I had my truck. I had it logoed up.
Yep.
And beforehand, I was driving my truck everywhere I went,
Yeah.
just the advertisement.
Yeah.
So people can see, wow, okay, that's Express Asphalt, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so that's pretty much how I got started with that. And then I also went from business to business and dropped off cards,
Okay. Okay. How effective was that for you? Like
that was pretty effective for the local area.
Yeah.
Stay within, the 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
That it was pretty effective at that time,
Yeah.
So, but at that time I didn't really know because I was just jumping into it. You know what I mean? Because it's a totally different beast coming from a car lot to an asphalt company.
Oh, for sure.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So there's so many marketing strategies that are different than what it is with a car lot.
Yeah.
I mean, so then and after that we made our first job and then our second job and our third job, and I just kept reinvesting into that. So then I bought a big bread truck, painted it, logoed it up, and it's like a running.
That's the one I remember. That's
Exactly.
the one I remember.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't miss that. So that is one of the best marketing things there is right there, is to get a big truck like that and just
Letter it up, drive it around, park it somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. I parked it at the Walmarts. I parked it at the Home Depots. I would park it there all day and come back and get it that night.
Yeah. Well, the jump, like that you like, there's a point in every asphalt maintenance contractor's career where either they hit, hey, there's a few paths you can take. You get to a point and you're like, all right, do I get more crews? Do I try to spread out with asphalt maintenance and get to a point, or am I okay? Like I'm the notorious one for being like, cool, I've hit where I want to hit. I'm comfortable. I get to do what I want to do. This is how the size I want the business to be and cover it. And I'm happy there. Then there's other guys like, dude, I want to get into paving. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. And they take that tier and whatnot. To see you jump from asphalt maintenance to paving, was that right? Was that in your mindset early on of like, hey, I want to get that settled, and then we want to get into paving? If you've been in asphalt long enough, you've probably said, there's got to be a better way to measure this. That's where Moser comes in. It's a simple app and motion-based tool that lets you measure areas, distances, elevations, and volumes just by walking the site. From patches and overlays to stockpiles and takeoffs, Moser helps contractors get the numbers they can trust fast. This show is about real stories and the real tools that move our industry forward, and Moser is one of them. To learn more about what Moser can do, head to the link in the description.
That was my number one goal, is to be a full-blown asphalt
company. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can still be in asphalt maintenance.
How hard was that, Rodney? Like, how hard was that for you to be like, because those are two different beasts, right?
Right. So
people don't think that. They think, oh, I'll just use the same crew and be able to jump over and do this. It's a different skill set. It's a lot more overhead. There's a lot more red tape. Like, how hard was that jump?
I mean, it is very hard. I wouldn't say it was very hard for me, but it is very hard because I pick up stuff naturally really, really super quick.
Yeah.
So it was hard because, like you said, it is a different beast. You really can't, unless you have, your cross guys from your seal coating crew, and then you're going to have to teach them how to do the screw man and the loop man and you know what I mean, and the roller guy and the operator. So, but really, you need your paving crews and your seal coating crews.
Yeah. What was that first job like when you guys put it in with the paver?
It was gratifying.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
How'd it turn out?
It turned out good.
Yeah, that's good.
It actually turned out good. I got lucky. I've got a guy that's got about 40 years experience.
So he knew, hey, you got to do this.
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Job. Yeah, that's lucky. Yeah, there's a lot of guys where like they don't have that. They take the they do it to learn, and that's 10 or 12 jobs before they kind of look okay. And it takes a good year before people get really dialed in.
And it is very hard because you got to really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I said, on the screws or anything, like a paver. So, I mean, if you don't really pay attention, there's so much to learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much.
So in the stretch that you've been doing this, I know you're a grinder. You're usually working every day, and you got your mind in the business. What has been the biggest challenge so far for you in this industry or this game, as far as your business goes? What was the biggest challenge so far?
Well, there's a couple.
Okay.
I would say and they go with the seal coating and they go with the paving.
Okay.
So the biggest challenge for the first one was when I started off for the first year and a half to 2 years was just spending so much money because there was nobody close to me that has sealer
Okay.
for
Yeah.
sale. So I was literally, because my trucks are big, and I was literally just wasting so much fuel back and forth because we did large projects, but our
Yeah.
seal, and it was back and forth every single day. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you had to worry about, okay, this is a challenge. If my truck breaks down, it's going to be a minimum $1,500 tow.
Oh,
You know,
for sure.
so that can really get into your pocket really quick.
Yeah.
So
You got to be tactful with your spending.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was that
Learning
that
learning that was your biggest challenge.
my biggest challenge was trying to figure out how I can better the company by not wasting so much money on stuff like that. So what I did is I went out and just bought I bought a bulk tank, 6,000 gallon.
Yeah.
And I have it at my
I
shop.
always love that about you. There's zero fear. You're always just like, what's the solution to this? Oh, you gotta spend 15 to 20K on this. Okay,
Right.
okay, cool. Where do I get it? And like
Right.
next day I'll get it. I'll see a post. Rodney's got what he was asking about in a post the day before.
So I actually bought it from Wisconsin.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah. And I had it delivered. So but that it's that part. And then on the paving side, it's just getting good guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a different beast on the paving than what it is seal coating.
Between Wiscoat, podcasting, writing, speaking, and family, I'm busy. As you can imagine, it's a lot to juggle. How do I do it? I stay organized. Jobber's been my secret weapon at my asphalt business, which takes up most of my time, but is also the force that allows me to do everything else in my schedule. That's why it's essential that Wiscoat runs fluidly and smooth. After making the switch to Jobber a few years ago, I simply wish I would have done it sooner. The process from when a client reaches out to when we complete a project for that customer has never been easier for us. From quoting, invoicing, scheduling, tracking hours, and even marketing, Jobbers made it all happen in one place in a way that everybody on our team can understand. If you're interested in a free 14-day trial of Jobber, an exclusive discount code for In the Mix listeners, check out the show description to find the link to try Jobber today. Yeah, I got a guest coming on right after you, and that's his advice. He's a doctor in clinical and industrial psychology, and literally it's about how do we attract these people, how do we find the right ones, and then how do we retain them to keep them there, right? Because it's the biggest struggle, and you're very fortunate to have somebody with that experience because it's not all that easy to find somebody that has a lot of paving experience and is really good and is available, especially in rural areas.
Yes.
Right. It's super hard. So the fact that you got that, I've noticed that that's a key thing. The companies that I see succeed quick and succeed well usually have key players like that they've been able to instill, and they keep them happy, they keep them moving, they keep them doing things, and it's really a vital thing to see success in companies is to have those key players. So the fact that you got one's been great. How do you? So that's been the second challenge. How did you overcome that challenge in the paving side, or have you?
So I wouldn't say that we've overcame that challenge yet.
Yeah.
Because you got to have a 5-6 person crew.
Yeah.
So in a good day we've got 3 to 4. You know what I mean? So to overcome that challenge, I'd have to have at least 1 or 2 backups.
Yeah, it's
You know
tough.
what I mean? So
you guys truck your own asphalt, or do you have it trucked in?
Oh no, we truck our own.
Yeah, I thought I seen a picture of a nice truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we got tri-axles. Yeah, and a single axle.
It's crazy because on the seal coating and asphalt maintenance side, it might take a lot longer, but you can do it with 2 people. In an asphalt game, you can't. It's going to cool off. You're not going to get compaction. You're going to be stuck. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Like, it's not like this stuff is just like, it's not like it's an easy jump. It's the obvious jump, but it's a long, high jump. Like, you better be prepared and be trained and be ready to go most of the time when you do it. So are you guys always recruiting then? Okay, that's how you keep your pressure on as far as overcoming that challenge.
Yes.
You never really overcome it. It's just something that you have to deal with all the time, right?
Daily basis.
Yeah, a daily basis. So, like I said, I know you're heavily involved. Like, you eat, sleep, and breathe the asphalt game, especially with Express Asphalt. I was looking at this question that I wrote down for you because it's really something that I'm curious about, because I never really get to see it because you're always in the business side of the game and whatnot. But I would love to know, like, you personally, what has been a big challenge, like for you? Because I don't know, like a lot of people, it's like, man, I got lack of sleep. And some people, it's like, well, I'm trying to make sure I don't get in front of myself or whatever. I deal with anxiety or stress, or I dealt with stressful clients or whatever it is. What about you personally? Like, what has been a big challenge for you when it comes to balancing your asphalt company and your life in that amount of time?
The biggest challenge is the hours that you have to put in to make it to be successful. You know what I mean? That's the biggest part,
Yeah.
because you're actually giving up your, if you want it successful, to get it, to literally build it from the ground up, you're going to have to give up a lot of your personal time, personal life.
Yeah. Yeah. And that affects
So
people
many
around you.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So was that part of your motivation? Like, I was going to ask you how you overcome that as well, but is that part of your motivation of like going all out and get it to where it's a sustainable thing so you can get that part over with quicker?
So, yes and no. So yes, it was, but I'm I'm fortunate to be
Hmm.
single.
Yeah.
So I don't have a timeline. I
Okay.
don't have to be home for this certain reason or this certain time or this or that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So now, if I was married, that would probably be a bit different story.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I was,
Yeah.
because of the time that it literally takes to build and create something.
Yeah. It reminded me of Kyle Shone or A Shone. That's how he always tells me. He's like, dude, I couldn't do what I do if I was tied up.
You
Right.
could,
He's like, I
and
just with what he's trying to do and what he's trying to build. So, like I've said before, we're not spring chickens. We're a few eggs short of that. Did you anticipate it taking that much time out of your schedule in order to build something? Because I think about it now, obviously, with my transition to splitting time between Nashville and here in Wisconsin and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, if I was to do this again, I like to think that in my mind, I'm still in my early 20s. Last year on the parking lot, I was reminded that I'm not physically right. So I'm like, dude, I don't know that I could go through it again or that I would want to. I'm sure I would if I had to, but I know it's not going to be an easier run for me this time. So elaborate with me a little bit on that, if you would.
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, of course, when we're sitting behind a computer and we're watching things online and everything else, and you're trying to do some research, and you're like, oh yeah, that's good, yeah, that's easy, that's easy. It's easy while you're watching, but to get
Yeah.
behind the broom, to get behind the squeegee, to get behind the blowers, to get behind the wands, I mean, it's a totally different situation. So everything looks easy until you get behind it.
I think that was one of our early conversations, right? You were like, I want to know if it's worth it. And I'm like, dude, it's totally worth it.
Right,
But it's not for the faint of heart. You're not
right,
just going to put a seal coat rig together and think your life is going to change. Now, you could put your seal coat rig together, and there is a point where your life will
right.
change. But in between that
Yeah,
is some grinding and some
it's
heavy
hard
lifting.
work.
But I fully believe that anybody who gets into this business and really puts the effort and time and energy into it can get to that point, right? So I think with other businesses, it's not always as optimistic, because I just I've seen people, you see so many businesses fail, right? There's a percentage of restaurants and small
Right,
businesses and whatever fail. The ones that I have seen that put forth the effort and the path similar to what you've put together and I've put together and a lot of our constituents have put together, they that's a high percentage of people that succeed if
right.
they'll put in the work and stay consistent and persistent. So I want to ask you the last question here is, as far as your grand scheme of life, not necessarily Express Asphalt. I know you're one of the guys that's like, this is my life at this point with
Right.
Express, but you've had a long chain of life with different business experiences and whatnot. What would be a general piece of advice that you would give to anybody, right? Like whether it was a younger version of yourself, for example,
Mhm.
um, and you knew, hey, you got another 20, 30 years in front of yourself here. What would be a general piece of advice you'd be like, hey, let me tell you something? All right. What would that be? So I was recently on my way back down to Tennessee, and I was going through Indiana doing some heavy highway construction there, and I seen them paving at night, and they had these lights on the back of the paver that illuminated the whole area. You could see the skid steers, you could see the dump trucks, you could see everything. And these big balloon lights on the back came from Portable Lighting Solutions. So PLS is the only balloon light manufacturer offering a replaceable screw-in LED bulb that is field serviceable in minutes. They have a patented slide-in assembly, and they have a push to rapidly deploy mechanism. So you just push down on the light and the light pops up and is illuminated. You push back down, it shuts off. And they're manufactured here in the USA. There's no patch kits needed. There's not a blower motor. There's no set screws, and they're UL certified. So if you're interested in putting one of these on your paver, I think I'm going to put one on the paver that we just got, and probably on our seal coat unit too, so that we can seal coat at night. You can hop over to portablelightingsolutions.net and put an order in and find yours today. They are ARA members, APWA members, and Women of Asphalt members as well. Once again, that's portablelightingsolutions.net.
Before you get into anything, do your homework.
Hmm.
Do your homework on whatever you're looking into. And then the next one would be, don't be afraid to take that leap.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are afraid to take that leap. Believe in yourself. Because you are the only one that can make yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believed in myself to do this. You know what I mean? So in 3.5 years, 4 years, I mean, I built it from the ground up, and I just purchased another shop facility. Now we've got 200,000 square foot building that we keep all of our equipment in, and 5 acres where we can, we're going to start, having our own gravel and, all of our.
You can keep all your materials and stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It never ceased to amaze me with so keep pressing forward.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you just got to keep pressing forward. You know what I mean? I mean, because you never know what could happen, like this building that came available, we just went ahead and bought it. So, and we needed it because we outgrew ours literally the first year and a half, or the shop. We literally outgrew it.
Well, when you buy every piece of equipment or every type of thing that you could ever buy for the asphalt world, of course you're going to outgrow it quick. You got a new moniker. It's Rodney No Fear Hilton. Because and with a last name like that, why would you not be purchasing more real estate?
Right, you have to. Right.
Rodney, I really appreciate you joining us, man. It's been fantastic kind of to witness your journey as always. I know we got some conferences and stuff coming up this winter and whatnot, and I know we'll see some next winter and whatnot. It's always a pleasure to get to hang out with you and witness your journey here in the asphalt industry. I think, for a lot of people, including myself, and even some younger people, right? But we're able to point to you and be like, hey, this is what you can do if you really are singularly focused and put your resources to it. It inspires a lot of people too. So I really appreciate what you've not only been able to do, but what you've contributed to the asphalt industry and community as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you get to your doctor's appointment. What are they doing? Are they pulling blood to see if you got into the fountain of youth or whatever?
No. I just gotta get a checkup done.
Yeah, I got you. I figured that they were probably going to pull blood and be like, how does this person have such high levels of testosterone and gall?
Yeah.
Because he just jumps into it. So I appreciate it, man. I hope you stay warm, and we'll catch you again real soon.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right. All righty. So for myself and for Rodney, we're here with a good conversation that we really hope you enjoyed. And as always, we hope you stay in the mix. Peace.